Hello. In the last video, we learned about the impacts of climate change on our health. In this language-focused video, we will discuss what an intensifier is and how to use intensifiers. Intensifiers are words that are used to make adjectives stronger. Remember, an adjective is a word that is used to describe a noun, such as hot, windy, or wet. If we want to make one of those adjectives stronger, we would add an intensifier, such as very, really, or extremely. For example, we might say that the temperature is very hot, or the weather is really windy. Other common intensifiers include incredibly, exceptionally, particularly, unusually, and amazingly. Now that we know what intensifiers are, let's look at how to use them. Almost all of the time, an intensifier comes before an adjective. Think about the examples we just said. Very came before hot, and really came before windy. Let's look a little deeper at the two most common intensifiers, very and really. The word really can be used to describe almost any adjective. For example, pretend you want to describe the temperature on the dark side of the moon. You might say that the dark side of the moon is really cold. In this case, you could also say that the dark side of the moon is very cold. While the word very can be used in this case, you need to be a little more careful when using it because you cannot say very with a certain group of adjectives called strong adjectives. Strong adjectives include words like amazing, awful, boiling, and freezing. Amazing means very good. Awful means very bad. Boiling means very hot, and freezing means very cold. These words have the intensifier very in their definition already. Therefore, you must be careful not to use very as an intensifier as well. Instead, you should choose another intensifier, such as absolutely, extremely, particularly, or really. Let's think back to the example we just described. Instead, let's use the word freezing to describe the temperature of the dark side of the moon. We might say that the dark side of the moon is really freezing, but would we say it is very freezing? Freezing is a strong adjective because it means very cold. Therefore, when we describe the temperature of the dark side of the moon, we would not say that it is very freezing. Instead, we might say it is extremely freezing or absolutely freezing. So, let's summarize the key points from this video. Intensifiers are words that make adjectives stronger. Intensifiers come before an adjective. Strong adjectives have the word very in the definition. Therefore, be careful not to use the intensifier very with those words. Next, you can practice what you've learned in this video by playing a game about intensifiers.